Good afternoon. This is Mary Badami with another in our series, A Guide to the Silly Season, Fasching 1971. Fasching is a silly season. More than a season, it's a state of mind, when nearly everywhere in Bavaria people go just a little bit crazy. Since masquerade balls are a large part of the fun, you should be trying to attend one during this coming month. I have here a few suggestions for fun at costume balls. First, if it's a costume ball, costumes are mandatory. Don't get caught at the door without a costume. You'll probably have to buy at an exorbitant fee a cheap piece of colored rags with a hole in the middle and put it on as your costume. Or else they'll supply you with a mask and hat at the door much over the normal price. It's much less embarrassing and far less expensive to have your own costume prepared. In another show, we'll talk a little bit about some of the costumes you can prepare at very little cost or effort. Suggestion number 2. If you're attending an indoor costume ball, be prepared for a traffic jam. The closest things to it are the New York or Tokyo subways during rush hour. Part of the fun of Fasching is supposed to be going there and getting squashed. You're expected to enjoy it. Suggestion number 3. The indoor balls are not only crowded, but very warm. Any heavy costume that you choose involving a coat, a dress with a long train, or a heavy cape, or a costume made of fur is not a very good idea for wearing at an indoor costume party. Number 4. A friend of ours wore a papier-mâché headpiece, a spaceman's head, enormous in size, a few years ago at a Fasching party. But such removable accessories and headpieces aren't very comfortable in a crowd, and they're a cause of worry if you leave them at the table to go dancing. So try to avoid the large headpieces and accessories that might get in the way. Have you ever tried dancing with a sword? Number 5. For the same reason, any costume that's delicate and can't stand crushing is going to be very uncomfortable. It makes the most sense to concentrate on a fancy hat, special effects with your hair and makeup, since that's all that most people will see of you anyway. Suggestion number 6. Well, for this one I have to take back just a little of what I said. If you choose, people can see a lot more of you. In the last 2 years in Munich, Fasching parties were noted not for the costuming, but for the lack of it. Nudity has been replacing fancy outfits. Body tattoos, body paints, cut-out dresses, see-through blouses with or without bikini bra underneath, or going braless under tight shirts were pretty typical looks for the younger girls both last year and this year. Now, if you always wanted to be a little daring, this is the most socially acceptable time. But if the look is not for you, don't be too surprised or shocked at some of the other women you see. You can be sure most of the men in the audience will be noticing. Suggestion number 7. One of the most dangerous things you can do is to go barefoot or in thin shoes. The rooms are crowded, the dance floor is wild, champagne is spilled, and some glasses can get broken. So it's good advice within the limits of your costume to find a solid pair of comfortable shoes. Being stomped on once or twice can take much of the fun out of what could be an enjoyable evening. Suggestion number 8. Expect to be asked to dance by strangers. And don't be like a group of American friends who went to a Fasching ball and then refused to dance. Fasching's etiquette includes the expectation of dancing with people other than your own husband or wife all evening long. And as with so many other types of behavior, the proprieties are loosened at Fasching time. You're expected to meet and dance with interesting people during the evening. As one of our German friends says, it's not really rude to refuse to dance when someone asks you, but it's not very nice. Suggestion number 9. Be ready to dance most of the night. And if this is your first experience in Germany, you might become familiar with a few bits of German dancing etiquette. Most of the time, you'll be expected to dance a set or a group of dances with whatever partner has asked you to dance. This may last as long as 15 minutes. Then the band will take a break. At this point, the couples clear the dance floor and perhaps change partners. then it'll be time for the next set of dances. It depends on how formal the occasion is and what age group of people have come. But your partner may even bring you back to the table where you've been sitting, and that's all part of being polite at a dance. Suggestion number 10. You can also, if you're a woman, expect to be pinched or patted a few times during the evening as you walk by groups of men. Now that's not meant as an insult, but it's part of the typical behavior during Fasching time when an attractive lady walks by. You shouldn't be too insulted if it happens. And suggestion number 11. If you're outdoors for a parade or for street parties or even dancing in the streets, which does happen here in Munich, remember that February can on occasion be pretty cold. Even with the help of the alcohol that's so plentiful, this is one time when all those rules about dressing lightly for Fasching don't apply. A warm coat and some kind of tights or slacks, plus a good headdress to keep you warm, all of those can be very important if you're going to have fun and not just stand there freezing. You know the Fasching season really begins at the 11th minute of the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, because 11 is the number for fools. Far from being foolish, these 11 suggestions should help you enjoy Fasching and be sensible ways to enjoy the most foolish time of year. This is Mary Badami in That Silly Season, Fasching, 1971.
Thank you so much, Mary Badami, another nice lady.